This is Skyrim. I've seen videos online showcasing Skyrim with totally remastered graphics, and I really wanted to give these mods a try myself. So I installed over 1,612 mods with the goal of starting a new playthrough and experiencing Skyrim like never before. So today I'm going to be starting a brand new Skyrim playthrough with these mods installed. Alright, so as you guys can see, just very lightly modded Skyrim here. So this is Eldergleam, which is a mod list that has over 1,600 mods. It totally overhauls the way that Skyrim looks, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Normally I am a kind of a vanilla Skyrim player, so seeing the game in this sort of context with these graphics just really blows my mind. So just kind of walking our way through to Riverwood. So Eldergleam is a mod list, and you can literally install all of this with one click, and I'll leave a link in the description to a video tutorial. I've kind of messed around with other mod lists like Nulvis, but I honestly prefer the way that Skyrim plays like just normally. So mods like Nulvis kind of totally change the combat and the gameplay, whereas Eldergleam is just a graphics mod. And as you can see, pretty much everything about the game has been overhauled, including like the idle animations here. So we're playing as a Khajiit because I like to play as a stealth character most of the time. But let's make our way to the Riverwood. So my goal with this video is to showcase what it's like to actually start a playthrough with all these mods installed. And I pretty much always go after the Thief Stone here. But yeah, you can see just how the sun is kind of shining through the trees here. It's a nice morning. We escaped Helgen with Rayloff here, which is the only right choice, to be honest with you. I think a little bit later we'll actually head off to the mines there, do a little bit of combat, but I just cannot get over how this game looks. I've gotten a lot of comments, and I've noticed a lot of people actually like to watch the videos, my videos on TV. So if you guys are watching on TV, feel free to let me know. I feel like this would look amazing, especially on a large like 4K TV. And normally I like to play in first person just because I feel like it's a little bit more immersive, but maybe for today we'll stick around with some third person just a little bit. Making our way to Riverwood. Oh my gosh, just look at that. I love Riverwood. To me, this is our first little introduction to the world of Skyrim here. All right, let's go talk to Girder. I really love how with the ENB here, it kind of looks like you have a nice shallow depth of field effect. So you can see in the background, we have some like bokeh is the name for that, when the lights kind of turn circular like that. You can actually see there's hair physics too. This is kind of blowing my mind. All right, we're taking absolutely everything from Girder. Yeah, I really like the shallow depth of field effect on the characters. Here's Fendel. Fendel is like the biggest player hater. Player Hater of the Year award right here. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to actually start exploring this world. Ooh, even the interiors look really good. Look at this. The sun rays coming through here. What in the... Bro, this rug looks too real. It looks too real to me. All right, we're gonna give ourselves some clothes because right now we're in some like prison garments, which we can't really, I don't really feel like running around in that. There we go. Now we got some proper clothes. Our Khajiit here looks fantastic. There's even some idle animations as well. You can see he's kind of yawning right now. I think a little bit later on, maybe we'll even make our way to the Dark Brotherhood. I think that'd be so much fun to actually start playing through the quest lines. Wait, that's kind of new. The wardrobe's actually open when you look inside them. That is super cool. Right, I think that's pretty much it. But I absolutely love Riverwood. Let's go stop into the Riverwood Trader here really quick. Oh my god, Camilla is so fine. All right, hold on. Hold on, let me not get distracted here. All right, let's get the world a little walk around here. There's even like little particles flying around. This is ridiculous. This is kind of absurd. To be honest, if they ever remaster Skyrim, I really hope it looks like this. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, this is just a quick reminder to check if you're subscribed. It only takes 1 second to do so, and I would really appreciate it because these videos take a long time to make. Alrighty, let's get back to the video. This is what I think of when I think of like a remastered kind of Skyrim experience. This looks so nice. I love the tall trees as well. Really fits the theme here. Get that too. Alright, we might as well clear out Bleak Falls Barrow while we're over here. And a little bit later on, we'll start heading to Whiterun. Oh, even the animations are different as well. I feel like the foxes have like actual fur on them. We kind of look at that. But to me, honestly, I feel like Skyrim is one of those games that I can just keep coming back to. I don't think gaming really ever went past Skyrim for me as far as like an experience that just kind of stuck with me. I love being able to see all the mountains in the distance, and everything has a nice fog to it as well. Like everywhere I look, I kind of feel like it could just be a screenshot. So yeah, like I was saying, I was trying to mess around with other mod lists, like Nulvis. Nulvis kind of looks just like this as far as the graphics go, but that mod list also introduces kind of new game mechanics as well. So it's a lot more kind of Souls-like, I feel. For me, if I wanted to play a Dark Souls game, I would go play it, you know? So I definitely prefer playing Skyrim the way it kind of came out, you know, just janky, things are overpowered. That's kind of like how I like playing the game. I feel like there's even death animations as well. All right, we're definitely taking the hunting bow here. Let's make our way to the top of this tower and see what kind of view we can get. But before we do that, I want to actually throw on some fur armor here. Now we have now we're properly protected. I really like the animation on the bow as well. How he's kind of holding it to the side there. Let's kind of make our way up here. So I've modded Skyrim in the past, you know, using things like the Vortex mod manager, but I never like got it to the point where the game looked this good. Mainly because I'm kind of impatient when it comes to modding games. Like I kind of just want to jump into the game. So like the main mods I always add are things like Legend of the Dragonborn and player homes, and things like that. So this is like my first time playing ultra modded Skyrim. Imagine walking through this in VR. That'd be so cool. All right, let's make our way to Bleak Falls Barrow. I'm really curious to see how the lighting has kind of changed in dungeon sort of environments like that. All right, let's just kind of walk over. When I was in school, I knew a girl who said the Khajiits were hot. I'm not even joking. I had to throw that in there. And honestly, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. All right, so we got one guy up there. To be honest, I never really played Skyrim for the combat. So, you know, mod lists like Nulvis that enhance the combat and enhance the gameplay aren't really my thing. Skyrim's kind of like one of those comfort games for me. So I really just like, I like playing it and turning my brain off. Let's see. All right, let's run away this way. I think as far as graphics go, I would kind of say this sort of looks like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I am like terrible at Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like terrible. I do like the little animations that they have whenever they get killed. Bleak Falls Barrow actually has such a beautiful kind of view. I think the cool thing about modding games like Skyrim is it really makes you appreciate the little details. Because mods like this really enhance everything. And it really helps you like appreciate the game worlds here that this is all based on. I really love the distant like LOD terrain as well. It looks fantastic actually. There's that tower we were at earlier. All right, let's head inside. Actually, before we head inside, let's see if we can take a look at Whiterun from over here. I think there's a little overlook that we can check out. Sprint animation's actually really cool. Oh, he has like a little slide too. Oh yeah, there's Whiterun. Talk to the Jarl of Whiterun. Yeah. So I kind of want to give a shout out to my homie Justin, who's also a channel member, by the way. Shout out to Justin. Skyrim's one of his favorite games, so of course I had to play it. Oh my gosh. The volumetric lighting and clouds gives me a physical reaction in my body. This is crazy. Honestly, I love playing as Khajiit because I always play as a rogue type character, so the idea of being like a sneaky cat. Yeah, that's some classic Skyrim right there. The idea of being like a sneaky assassin cat roaming around is just very appealing to me for some reason. But I'm curious to hear if you guys actually, whenever you guys do play Skyrim, what race you guys choose to play as. I used to always play as a Nord, but we picked up a painting there. And that's actually part of the Legend of the Dragonborn mod, which is a mod that I added in sort of after the fact here. Wow, this looks stunning. This looks absolutely incredible. It's kind of crazy. I love running through the early sections of Skyrim, and I'm really excited to actually start up the Dark Brotherhood questline. Normally, whenever I play Skyrim, I just kind of ignore the actual like storyline that it has. I probably maybe have started at least like 10 playthroughs before I actually even did the Civil War questline or did the like the main story of this game. I think that's kind of the fun thing about this game is everyone plays it a little bit differently. And I think that's what's so special about it. Everybody has their own memories of this game. Yeah, the lighting. from the ENB just looks fantastic. I've been playing so much Minecraft, so it's like I have to catch myself and not say shaders. It's the ENB. Get rid of these little skeevers. Another game I've always wanted to really actually get into was Oblivion Remastered. It looks this actually kind of reminds me of Oblivion Remastered, just the way it kind of looks. So that's another game I really want to get into as well. And of course, I also want to give Kingdom Come Deliverance a try as well. Specifically Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think that game looks really cool, but it's definitely like a game you'd have to sort of invest some time into. Oh wow, look at that. I'm not really sure if this shader uses ray tracing or definitely kind of has that look. You can kind of see if I stand in front of this light source, you can see like a shadow on the left side right there, like of my player model. There we go. Wow, even the spider has like fur on it. It's so cool. All right, let's cut down our roll. I'm about to call him Avril Lavigne. All right, there we go. Let's get the golden claw back. I never actually talked to Lucan about getting the claw, but we'll just return it to him. We'll surprise him with it. But let's quickly make our way through here. After we get out of here, I want to actually stop by a couple of places so I can introduce some of the mods that I sort of added in on my own. I think one of the cool things about Eldergleam is that since it is just graphics, it made it really easy to actually install the mods that I like playing with. So I'm really excited to start introducing those as we encounter them. Oh, that's actually funny. He like hit the pressure plate. I feel like there's even like a particle effect whenever you hit them. Like there's kind of smoke coming out wherever the arrows kind of hit these guys. I think I've ran through this like dungeon so many times. I just kind of I know where everything is, so it's kind of like comforting to me to actually play through this again. Perfect. We got an ancient Nord bow, and we even have a little chest tucked up here. It looks like even the lock picking animation is like higher res. Studded armor with minor squire. Cool. All right. Yeah, this dungeon, Bleak Falls Barrow, definitely feels a lot more atmospheric. We got good timing on that. But I've gotten a lot of comments saying that you guys are interested in seeing some Skyrim, so I'm more than happy to do this. And I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying that they enjoy watching my videos in the background. So I'm always curious to hear what you guys got going on. It always makes my day. I love getting comments from you guys saying that you're watching my videos to help you relax or while you're eating. I think that's like my thing. I don't know about you guys, but it's so hard for me to like eat without watching YouTube. It's kind of like my go-to thing. I gotta have YouTube playing while I'm eating. So it means a lot. It's like the biggest compliment to me as a creator when you guys say, oh, I'm watching your videos while I'm eating or while you're studying or whatever you guys got going on. I know this is kind of funny, but I actually like easy games, which is why I play Skyrim on like adept difficulty. I've never really been into like Souls-like games. I don't know if that's an unpopular thing to say, but I feel like for me, video games are kind of relaxing. So I don't actually like to actually have to try super hard to play them, but that could just be me. Yeah, the lighting I can't get over the lighting. I think what really gives it such a nice look is seeing all the particles kind of swirling around. Let's just toss this guy over the edge. So tonight is actually the night before my day off, and I honestly cannot think of a better day to start a Skyrim playthrough. The night before a day off is always my favorite time to play video games, just because it's like I usually work the night shift, so I get home pretty late. So it's nice and quiet outside, and I don't have to feel guilty about spending time playing video games. Alright, we might as well use our level up. I think I'm going to go for Magicka. Alright, and then we're going to go for the 20% more arrow damage, as if archery isn't overpowered enough. And there's definitely some real-time lighting going on, because you can see the flames flickering and the shadows kind of casting off of this little goblet here. Really, really cool. So after we deliver the Dragonstone to Whiterun, I want to actually start the Dark Brotherhood questline. I think that would be so much fun. The Dark Brotherhood is one of my favorite questlines, and I think with these graphics, it's just going to be so much fun to play through. So I feel like there's actually a lot of emissive lighting going on. So I was noticing on the draggers that their eyes are glowing blue, and that the walls around them are like glow blue from the emissive light. That's really, really cool. I think what's kind of crazy is recently I was on a trip, and I brought my Steam Deck with me, And one of the games I had installed on there was actually Skyrim Special Edition. And it kind of, I know Skyrim is pretty old at this point, but it kind of blew my mind that I was able to actually play it portably. Because I remember playing Skyrim for the first time on the Xbox 360, and I was just blown away. I don't think me at that time could have imagined playing Skyrim handheld. I feel like everywhere you look just kind of looks like a screenshot. The lighting is just unreal. All right, let me see if I remember how to do this. All right, that should be it here. I really like the way the Khajiit look. And something I just noticed is actually the embers from the torches here. Honestly, it's the tiny details like that that really make it for me here. So I'm gonna actually equip this studded armor of the Miner Squire. I really love the way the characters look and the ambient little movement that they have. All right, we're gonna put another point into Magicka, and then we're also gonna do a second point into archery here. And I absolutely love the God rays shining through. I don't think I ever actually noticed the keyhole shining through here, but it looks fantastic, especially seeing all the dust and stuff kind of shining through here. All right, let's learn our first shout here. Unrelenting Force. All right, let's do a little bit of third-person combat. I'm not sure if you guys prefer third-person or first-person, so I'm just gonna kind of go off of the vibes of what I'm feeling at the time. But I really like the little tracer that the arrow has there. I think in vanilla Skyrim, you just get a crosshair and it doesn't really line up. We even have a little ready animation there as well. Ooh, an Elven Mage Circlet. That's actually fantastic. All right, let's play in third person. I can't get over the lighting. We can even see our items on the character as well. So we have both of our swords and our arrows. Yeah, no matter how many times I play Skyrim, I can always come back to this game. Whether I'm having kind of a bad day, a good day, whatever the case may be. It's just one of those games that's kind of like sort of like a comfort game for me. All right, let's grab all these. Perfect. And I'm really excited to actually start introducing some of the other mods I have installed. So Eldergleam makes the perfect base for modding on top of, just because it only overhauls the graphics and the animation. So any additional gameplay mods you want to install, you know, such as maybe something like Experience or Immersive College of Winterhold. So you're free to kind of change up the gameplay if you'd like, which I really enjoy. Let's make our way back outside. Man, feels good to be back outside. I think it's starting to turn sunset. This guy's a nice like pink cotton candy sort of tone here. All right, let's make our way back to Riverwood, but there's a couple of stops that I actually want to stop at before we do that. One of them being Nice's cabin, and then we also need to locate a treasure map at a bandit camp. So one of the reasons I want to stop at Nice's cabin is because I want to introduce one of the mods I installed on top of Eldergleam. And roaming through the woods, especially in third person, is just so much fun. Having the ambience of the forest, having Jeremy Soul's soundtrack playing. I actually use Jeremy Soul's soundtrack a lot in my videos, just because I'm such a huge fan of it. Even as we're walking through the woods, you can see that the foliage and stuff kind of moves away from our character, which is pretty sweet. I think despite having over 1,600 mods, it runs really good. And I'll leave all of my PC specs in the description, but you know, I think it's whenever you mod a game like Skyrim, you have to also realize that, you know, it's one thing to make a game from the ground up with these graphics in mind, but to actually mod them on top of Skyrim's game engine and for it to run smoothly, I think that's what's really impressive here. And there's so many individual mods at play here. So here we are in Anisa's basement, and we have this extra lockbox here containing the Ring of the Wind. And this is actually part of Legacy of the Dragonborn, which is one of my favorite mods of all time. So Legacy of the Dragonborn actually adds a museum in Solitude. So when we make our way to Solitude a little bit later, I'd love to showcase that. If you guys have never played with Legacy of the Dragonborn installed, it's really cool mod. I consider it an essential mod, to be honest. Wow, this looks so good, especially during sunset time. But we're gonna make our way to a bandit camp right now, because I want to grab a treasure map. I don't know about you guys, I'm really curious to hear if you guys do this as well, but I kind of have a little bit of a routine when I play Skyrim. So I'm curious to hear if you guys have any sort of routines that you like to do. I know for me, I love to just run to Riverwood. Sometimes I'll clear out the mines right next to Riverwood, and then I always go to Bleak Falls Barrow and get the Golden Claw for Luca as well as the Dragonstone, just so I can get the main storyline started. And then after I drop off the Dragonstone, I like to just go off and do my own thing. Typically, I like to start the Dark Brotherhood questline, which I really want to get started a little bit later on. So I don't know how many playthroughs it took me to kind of find this bandit camp out here, but I always like clearing this out and getting the treasure map from them. It's really helpful early on to get as much money as possible. Then a little bit later on, we're even going to go to Riverwood, and along the way to Riverwood, I actually have a player home that I installed that I want to show you guys. Especially with these graphics, it's going to look really, really cool. So of course, the Skyrim NPCs are being kind of weirdos. All right, let's actually switch to flames. Wow, I really love the magic in this game. It looks so cool, especially having our character hold the spells in his hand. It looks so sick. Even as we're walking along, the spells kind of have an emissive light as well. That is such a sweet view. Maybe we'll kind of switch between mage and archery. Like I was saying, I like to I really like my games kind of easy. I don't really like to work too hard when I'm playing video games. So I like to use all the overpowered skills. You know what? Let's grab some mead. There we go. Have a nice little drink. And actually, while we're over here, before we head back to Riverwood, I always like to grab the Thalmor armor that's right over here. It sells for a couple hundred gold, and it doesn't weigh anything. Whenever I'm picking up loot, I like to prioritize things that have a good gold to weight ratio. So kind of interestingly enough, I actually had to get a Nexus Premium account in order to get all of these set up. I had never used Nexus Premium. I think it's possible to install Eldergleam without Nexus Premium, but it takes a long time. All right, let's make our way back to Riverwood. I think we're gonna get there right in time for nighttime. Yeah, the sun is starting to set. So in my free time, whenever I'm not doing YouTube videos, I love to do photography. Usually this time in real life is called golden hour because the sun is just starting to set, and it's really a really great time for portraits and stuff. That's kind of my photography nerdism coming out here. I can't even lie. Hold on, I'm about to start yapping. But the whole reason I even got into photography was I don't know if I should say this. It's actually kind of funny, but I'll say it. So the whole reason I even got into photography was because I wanted to kind of like pick up chicks. I thought, oh yeah, if I was a photographer, all the girls would hit me up to do like photos for them. And it low-key kind of worked. So if you're a guy looking for a girlfriend, or if you're a girl looking for a guy friend, pick up photography. I almost forgot to read this map. We're gonna need to do that. And this is such good early game loot. I think just walking around in third person is actually kind of nice. I think that's what makes Skyrim so special, is being able to actually... Ooh, wow, we're actually getting a lot of good stuff here. Being able to switch seamlessly between the two, first person and third person, is really, really nice. Ooh, look at the moon. That's absolutely stunning. And we got the galaxies as well. I actually heard that, not sure if this is true or not, but apparently, if you're in an area without a lot of light pollution, like from cities, you can actually see a lot more stars at night, but that's not something I've ever experienced before. Oh, looks like we got some invitations. Wow. I gotta be honest with you guys, this is such a vibe. It's like 12 a.m. in real life, and walking through Riverwood at nighttime, the lighting just looks... I honestly can't put it into words. You know what, let's role play a little bit. Let's stop at the Sleeping Giant here. I'm really interested to see what the tavern looks like. Here's Sven. That's Fendel's best buddy right there. I gotta be honest, I always thought Delphine was so fine. Alright, let's get ourselves a room. Actually, you know what? We might as well warm ourselves up by the fire just a little bit. You can see our Khajiit's shadow being shown behind us. Well, that's such a... He's hitting the pose. He's aura farming right now. This is so cool. In my Minecraft world I'm playing on, I built myself a little tavern. But I love builds like this. Alright, let's sleep until sunset, or sunrise. Alright, it's a brand new day. So we're carrying a lot of weight. Let's go and actually sell some of this. Beautiful early morning here in Riverwood. We might have to actually wait until around 10 a.m. to get Alvor here. Alright, I want to actually start selling off all my expensive stuff, or all of our weighty stuff. That way we don't have to carry it around with us. Here we go, we cleared them out. So I actually just realized I picked up these boots that increase our carrying capacity by 25. That's actually really, really cool. So like I was mentioning, I installed a mod called Legacy of the Dragonborn. And not only will I show you guys the museum that it introduces a little bit later on, but it also introduces artifacts. So for example, this Ring of the Wind here, this lets us move a lot faster, which is pretty cool. And there's literally thousands of items like that that are spread throughout the world. But I'm going to take this off for now because I actually enjoy walking through the world just kind of at normal speed here. But I'm really excited to showcase the Legacy of the Dragonborn when we get to it later. Alright, let's give Lucan back his claw. Honestly, I wish I was excited about stuff as Lucan is about his little claw that he's got here. Honestly, I love the way that the Riverwood Trader looks. It looks so cozy in here. Alright, let's sell off some of our stuff here. Alright, let's see what Lucan has for sale. I actually have some conjuration robes here. Those are kind of tempting, to be honest. I do kind of want to use Magicka. Oh, these are kind of new. What are these? Backpacks? I've never seen these before. I don't know if these are part of the anniversary update or what these are from, but it says it increases our carrying capacity by 75, which is actually really, really nice. Maybe we'll have to get one of these. So the Hunter Backpack increases our carrying capacity by 75 points and bows do 10% more damage. I think we want to do that. I think we'll go for that. All right, let's sell off some of our stuff here. All right, I'm curious to see what this backpack looks like. That's actually sick. So it gives us 75% carrying weight and 10% extra damage with our bow. That is actually super cool. Oh my gosh, Camilla, where'd you get that? All right, it's a beautiful new day. And we're gonna head off to Riverwood and hand off this Dragonstone because it's taken 25 of our carry limit here. But before we do that, I want to actually show off one of the player homes I installed. This is one of my favorite player homes of all time. Especially, I love to play as kind of like these rogue characters, so this is the perfect player home for that. Man, just walking through the woods, this feels so magical. I feel like so many of, like literally millions of people have made this same exact walk to Whiterun for the first time. Surprisingly, those wolves that usually spawn here aren't here. But with these graphics, it's just going to be really, really magical to see Whiterun for the first time, especially with the new foliage. Oh, here's the Maik, the liar here. Bro, they yesified Maik. He's looking kind of clear. Alright, so I got kind of distracted and I actually passed by the entrance here. But just off the pathway to Whiterun, we discover Rayek's End. It's just kind of hidden here in the waterfall. And this is one of my favorite player homes. So this is one of the mods I installed on top of Eldergleam. And I think for me, this is kind of an essential. I'll leave the gold there for now. But this player home is so cool. It has tons of kind of trophy displays here. But I really want to showcase this. This is actually my first time seeing it in with these graphics and with these textures. But every time I start a new playthrough, I always have to have this one installed. It's such a it really fits the rogue sort of character, having this hidden kind of house underneath the waterfall. But if we take a right here down the stairs, this is kind of a small little display room. But since we have Legacy of the Dragonborn installed, I want to actually do all of our displays over there at the museum. But you can see it's really nice in here. Definitely such a cool little player home. Even have a garden, kind of like a fishing spot over here. Overall, it's just kind of a cool vibe. I honestly want to recreate this in Minecraft. I think that'd be so much fun. Or something kind of similar to this. But let's head off to Whiterun. It's honestly such a cool little vibe, kind of starting off right here at the waterfall. I'm really curious to see what Whiterun's going to look like, especially up close. The trees are so dense that we haven't quite seen, can't quite see the city from here. Oh, here we go. There it is, peeking through the trees. Looks so cool. I think there's definitely some like LOD mods installed as well. I feel like the distant terrain looks so much better. Yeah, the fields surrounding Whiterun look absolutely stunning. We will we'll take the carriage here over to Riften here in a little bit. Let's meet up with Rashad's caravan here. So I think I kind of want to buy this hunting bow of souls. Filling a soul gem is actually really a good effect here. See if he's got anything else here. Nothing I'm really wanting, so alright, here we go. Now we have a soul hunting bow, so anytime we kill something, we'll be able to fill a soul gem with it. But look at the fields here. Kind of running through the grass reminds me of like Ghost of Tsushima for some reason. It's kind of what this area reminds me of. So I was kind of looking around at the configs for Eldergleam, and there's actually controller support too. So I kind of want to hook my PC up to the TV and play this thing on a big screen. That'd be so much fun. Yeah, the Khajiits look fantastic. Everyone's just going on their daily lives here. I always wanted to actually like join the Khajiit caravan. I think there's mods for it. That would just be so much fun. Let's head into Whiterun here. Good old Whiterun. So I think we're not gonna actually hand in the Dragonstone, come to think about it. I want to actually make my way to the Legacy of the Dragonborn Museum and actually drop off the Dragonstone there. But we will come up here and hit the Dragon's Reach quick save or fast travel point. That way we can get here a little bit faster next time. So right now I want to actually head to Riften because I want to start off the Dark Brotherhood questline. Looks like it's starting to turn sunset now as well. So this will be nice. Hopefully we get there around nighttime. Here we are in Riften. One of the mods I want to install is actually the immersive carriage mod. I think that'd be really fun. So then you can actually ride the carriage all the way along. Alright, so we actually failed the speech check here. Okay, for some reason this guy's this is so weird. Not only did we fail the speech check, but we also got the fugitive little side quest here. This is so weird. What in the world is going on here? Alright, so let's get rid of the this is the most Skyrim moment ever. There's just like basically like 20 things just happened at once. I don't know if it's gonna let me kill the fugitive or if I'm gonna get in trouble for doing this, but might as well get rid of him. That way he doesn't try to kill us. Let's go into Riften. So I'm really curious to hear if you could live anywhere in Skyrim or in the Elder Scrolls in general, where would you guys live? For some reason, I actually really like Riften. I don't know why. It is kind of considered like not exactly a safe place, right, with the Thieves Guild, but something about it being like on the water here just has a nice vibe to it for me. All right. Oh, I like the sun rays too. All right, we're gonna have to kill old Grelon here. Doing these orphans a favor. Shoot her right in the face. Alright. Alright, let's go. Now we gotta go to Winterhold. Or now we gotta go to Windhelm. Actually, before we do that though, I kind of want to take a look around Riften. I really like the vibe here. I love the warm lighting. So I believe this is using the cabbage shaders, which is such a... These are such like really cool shaders. For some reason I can't sell anything here. But the textures here are kind of crazy. Just kind of walking through the city here. Maybe a little bit later on. If you guys are interested in seeing more videos to Skyrim, definitely let me know. I actually really love playing this game. Alright, we're gonna leave Maul alone. I don't feel like talking to him. But if you guys are interested in seeing more of Skyrim, let me know in a comment. So we're gonna head to Windhelm here. But I'm definitely interested in not only starting the Dark Brotherhood questline, maybe doing some quests for that, but I also really want to start the Thieves Guild as well. Alright, here we are at Windhelm. I love the snow particles just going everywhere. Oh, whoa, that's actually so cool. So it's cold outside, so our character's kind of like keeping himself warm here. This actually looks kind of crazy to me. This literally, if they ever remaster Skyrim and it doesn't look like this. Actually, while we're at Windhelm, I'm curious to hear if you guys side with the Stormcloaks or the Imperials. I think when I was younger, I always chose the Stormcloaks, but I didn't realize that they didn't actually like the elves or anything. So I think more recently I've just been going with the siding with the Imperials. All right, let's go talk to Aventus. Oh, even the door locks have a different texture depending on the location you're in. All right, let's talk to Aventus. Aventus really reminds me of myself as a child. Black Sacrament and everything. Alright, kiddo. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. I guess this is a Christmas special. Alright, so we got that taken care of. Now next time we sleep, we'll get a nice little surprise. So we're definitely going to want to put our extra point into Sneak here, because we're going for the Dark Brotherhood kind of build here. Let's take a look around Windhelm for a little bit. I think it's going to take a little while before we're contacted by the Brotherhood. So let's take a stroll around Windhelm a little bit. I want to go see Jarl Ulfric. Here he is, look at him. He's aura farming right now. Alright, I'll see you later, Jarl. So there's actually another mod I really want to show off that I installed on top of Eldergleam, but we're gonna have to take a little bit of a carriage ride. It's actually so cool seeing the NPCs walking around kind of huddling up. I really like, I like Windhelm as well, especially like these houses here, these nicer houses, but Windhelm's not really a city that I spent a lot of time exploring, to be honest with you guys. Skyrim's like my most played game, but I only have about 300 hours in it. So I'm curious to hear how many hours you guys have in this game. But let's actually start selling some of these things that we don't quite need. So our speech just went up. There's like an adventure backpack here. This one increases our stamina by 20 points, but we don't really need that. But yeah, there's still so many things about Skyrim that I haven't even really discovered. And that's kind of the cool thing about it, is this game is it really is a large game. So I think my game is bugged a little bit. Our character's sprint stamina isn't really draining, but I'm not really too masochistic, so I'm not over here complaining about not having stamina drain. All right, let's go on a short little carriage ride to Winterhold. It's gonna cost us quite a bit here, but I really want to showcase one of these this mod that I installed over on top of Eldergleam here. So here we are at Winterhold, and there's not really anything to do here other than go to college. So one of the mods I have installed is actually Immersive College of Winterhold. And this makes the College of Winterhold questline so much more fun. Alright, let's cast Firebolt here so we can enter into the college. So if you guys have never played Immersive College of Winterhold, it basically adds a little bit more depth to the college here. Kind of redecorates it a little bit and kind of cleans up the questline for it as well. And in my opinion, it's one of those mods that I always have this one installed as well, in addition to Legacy of the Dragonborn. I think one of the criticisms that Skyrim gets is that the quests feel kind of very simple and like not as fleshed out compared to maybe even Oblivion or... I've never played Morrowind, but I heard Morrowind's actually really good as well. But yeah, that's kind of one of the criticisms of Skyrim, is that the some of the quest lines feel very like shallow. This is actually so cool. Yeah, there's definitely some like LOD things going on here, because the distant terrain looks... I don't know, I haven't really played the vanilla game in a while, but I definitely feel like we can see a lot farther. All right, let's enter inside the college, at least to get our the fast travel here. But yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing more videos of Skyrim, let me know. I'd love to start the College of Winterhold questline. So you can see there's some redecorations here. They added some apothecaries and different plant rooms or greenhouses here. But let me showcase the dorms here. I really like the dorm rooms. But it's kind of cool, like all the students have their own little routines that they go through. Here's our dorm room, whenever we actually decide to attend the college here. So Immersive College of Winterhold not only cleans up the questline a little bit, but it also redoes the college itself. So we saw some different exterior details that it added, but it also overhauls the library here and the Archmage's quarters upstairs as well. So we can't quite access that until we start the quest line. But after we get settled in, we'll come back to the college and actually attend some classes. And I think that gave plenty of time for the Brotherhood to actually contact us. So I think I'll quickly fast travel back to Whiterun. Here's the courier. All right, let's read the note. We know. Cool. All right, so that's our cue. Now we can finally sleep. I'm not sure what the actual trigger is to actually start the Brotherhood questline, as far as how much time it takes between, because sometimes you can sleep right away and Astrid kidnaps you, and other times you have to wait for the courier. Oh, I love the bannered mare here. This looks beautiful. Let's get ourselves a room for the night. Oh my gosh, Hulda is gorgeous. I need her ring size ASAP. But I like how you can actually see the NPCs' weapons that they have. So you can see Mikhail here has his dagger ready. The armor textures just look fantastic. I think what's amazing is the modding community really is something else on Skyrim. Like the attention to detail in the textures, just, it's crazy. And the fact that we have tools like Wabbajack that can install all the mods and configure them in one click is just kind of mind-blowing to me. Because there's literally, even in something as simple as this room is kind of crazy. Like all the textures are kind of all individually stitched together to make a complete picture here. But nothing happened. Let's sleep. All right, so something I never knew is you could actually kill Astrid here if you wanted to, but that kind of ruins the quest line. So I think for now we'll just get rid of our captures here. Actually, I don't know what the actual lore behind this quest line is. If the like which character is actually the one you're supposed to kill. So I always just go after all of them. Well, this is kind of gruesome. They're like, they actually get charred if you hit them with a fireball. That's like ridiculous. All right. So the reason I always like starting the Dark Brotherhood questline is because it leads us perfectly to Solitude here. And this looks vastly different. Whoa. So this whole area actually got completely redone. This actually looks amazing. All right. Let's make our way to Solitude. So you can actually see it from here. But right there in the center is actually the Legacy of the Dragonborn Museum. So I want to check that out and showcase it to you guys. So Legacy of the Dragonborn, in my opinion, really is a it's a DLC of a mod. Let's get rid of him here. There we go. This is why it's nice to know Magicka. Yeah, the Magicka is just too cool not to use in Eldergleam. But all the textures look fantastic. Kind of like I was saying earlier, you know, a lot of these mods are all individual, and the mod authors spent so much time handcrafting all these textures. And, you know, they're all individual projects and mods, so to see them all kind of working in tandem with each other, you know, things like the 4K textures, foliage, the armors, the character animations, all of them configured together and working together, it's so, so cool. I honestly wonder if Skyrim would have been as big if the modding tools weren't available for it. Because when I think of Skyrim, I think of modding it. At one of my old jobs, I used to have a coworker who actually never played Skyrim before, and his first experience with the game was actually playing it on the Nintendo Switch, and I thought that was so cool to think about. Like, I've been playing Skyrim for years at that point, and it was cool to think like, hey, this game is still being discovered and played to this day. Like, people are experiencing Skyrim for the first time ever. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could play this game for the first time again. Let's make our way up to the museum. We might have just enough relics to actually get inside, but we might have to do some fetch quests. The docks here. I really like the guard armor as well. It looks fantastic. I like that Eldergleam doesn't really it doesn't change the gameplay up at all, and it doesn't add anything new. It just kind of gives Skyrim a nice fresh coat of paint, so that way you can install whatever you'd like on top of it. I really like that. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I also tried out Nulvis, and I think Nulvis is incredible because it's kind of its own standalone experience. But I couldn't really get into it just because of the combat. I remember as a kid I always tried actually saving Rogvir, so I would kind of climb up in this tower here and assassinate the headsman here. That I would always come up here and kind of sneak and try to snipe the headsman. Let's actually take this hawk's egg, so that way I could save Rogvir, but you end up getting hunted down and killed. So let's make our way to the museum here. Kind of taking the scenic route here. I really like Solitude. It's one of those cities where I feel like it could be bigger, but it's still really nice. Looks like it's kind of a little gloomy day here. In real life, my favorite weather is gloomy weather like this. Oh my gosh. Solitude looks so good. The textures, like, I don't know, something about the textures, it really fits for me. So here's the Dragonborn Gallery and Museum here. Let's head in here. So this is part of Legacy of the Dragonborn. So Legacy of the Dragonborn really is a DLC-sized mod. So it's not just a collectathon kind of thing where you just sort of fill the museum up with all the collectibles. It adds its own quest lines and factions, and it's such a cool mod. And to me, if you want a single mod to install to Skyrim that really revamps the game in a single mod, I would say Legacy of the Dragonborn is the one to do it. And as you can hear, the characters have their own voice acting, and really, really cool. So like I was saying at the beginning, that Ring of the Wind that we got at Anis's cabin, that's one of the thousands of items that are spread around the world. And you can find them throughout the world, and you collect them and you bring them here to the museum. And what's actually kind of crazy is they recently updated Legacy of the Dragonborn, so you can actually you'll actually see visitors walking into the museum and looking at all the exhibits that you bring in, and it's so cool. Everybody is fully like voiced and dialogued. It's such a fun mod. So yeah, this is one of the reasons I was so drawn to Eldergleam, because it gives you a lot of space to actually, since it is just a graphics and animation overhaul, it gives you a good base to build off of. So you're able to add mods like Legacy of the Dragonborn without too much conflict or anything. So it'll be really fun to see how the museum fills up, especially even doing something as simple as the Dark Brotherhood quest line. It looks like we have a visitor at the museum already. So you'll see as we go through the Dark Brotherhood quest line, or if you complete the Civil War quest line or the Mages College, you'll actually see that you'll actually pick up relics and you'll fill the museum. And the more relics you have in the museum, you're actually people leave donations, so it's actually a source of gold in the game, which is actually really, really cool. So I'm gonna actually throw on the college clothes we have here. So let's actually head off to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary and get ourselves our shrouded armor. Maybe we'll do a couple of quests for the Brotherhood as well. I'm really excited with Skyrim right now. This is a game I love to play, and I love to share the experience with you guys. So, right, we're gonna travel all the way to Falkreath. You know, as much as I've played Skyrim, I still get that joy of playing this game. Something about this game keeps me coming back. Here we are in Falkreath, under the cover of night. It's a nice rainy night, actually. And usually whenever I'm not filming a video, I actually love to walk between all the locations. It wasn't actually until recently that I started actually walking throughout Skyrim. I used to just fast travel everywhere, but once I started to just walk from location to location, that's when I really started to appreciate this game. And with mods like with modlists like Eldergleam, it makes it kind of fun to walk through the world, the new textures and the new animations. Right, I can't think of a better night to find the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary than a rainy night in Falkreath. All right, here we are in the sanctuary. We can finally get our shrouded armor. And we get to meet our new family here. Let's talk to Astrid. This is super, super cool. As many times as I've played this game, and as many times as I've done the Dark Brotherhood questline, it's always fun. There we go. Now we have our shrouded armor. I feel like as a Khajiit, it just kind of makes sense that you would be a Dark Brotherhood member. The armor looks so sick. For some reason, I was always drawn to play as like rogue characters in RPG games. Not sure if you guys have ever played it, but a game I'm really a big fan of is actually Fable 2. And it's kind of a shame it's actually locked on the Xbox 360, but I loved playing as an assassin in that game. Here we are. Here's our family, the Dark Brotherhood family here. So we got Babette sharing one of her stories. The sanctuary is really, really nice. One of my I think compared to, I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinion on this, but I think between Oblivion and Skyrim, Oblivion definitely has the better of the two Dark Brotherhood quest lines. And let's actually use their arcane enchanter here, because I wanna actually learn some of these enchantments, like our lifting enchantment. I definitely want to learn this one as well. But I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinion on that. I love the Skyrim Dark Brotherhood quest line though. Can we actually read the tenets? We can kind of read them actually. Never kill a Dark Brotherhood. Never kill a Dark Brother or Dark Sister. Never steal. It's actually pretty cool. It's cool that they the textures are HD and you can actually read them. Let's get another point into stealth here. And I feel like even at level 5, where our character is already like super powerful with things like sneak and archery. Honestly, we all love Nazir. All right, so let's start off with some contracts for Nazir here. I really like Vizira as well. Vizira is really cool. I think one of my favorite mods is it actually lets you save Vizira, and he can become one of your companions. All right, let's head off and get some of our first contracts done. Oh, it's absolutely a gorgeous day here in Whiterun. So we're heading off to our Iverstead to kill Narfi, the beggar. And I've always been a huge fan of Iverstead, or at least the walk to Iverstead. It really helps you it's a nice introduction to the world of Skyrim. Really lets you kind of experience the world. And there's so many fun encounters along the way there. I think we're gonna kind of use a little bit of blend of destruction magic as well as our archery. There's lots of locations along the way to Iverstead as well. So we have a bandit camp up there. And actually we have a fire atronach here. Thankfully our arrows are doing good damage here. I don't have any ice spells, but the archery did us just fine. And we filled up a soul gem as well. So it looks like they fell down there. But who did they kill? They killed a witch. I feel like that witch summoned the flame atronach but got killed by him. I'm actually really curious to see what Iverstead looks like in Eldergleam, especially with the new foliage here. You see Whiterun off in the distance. Yeah, I really want to hook my PC up to my TV and play this on the controller. I think that'd be so much fun. Just the way it's designed, the encounters you can find. It's just, for whatever reason, this world feels huge to me. And I've done a video in the past where I was exploring a Minecraft server called Artecraft, and I did an interview with the Artecraft's founder, and he was saying that the Artecraft map is actually 70 times the size of Skyrim, which to me is kind of crazy, because to me this world feels huge by itself. So to hear that their map that they made is 70 times this size kind of blew my mind. Here's our first little bandit camp here on the way to Iverstead. Kind of seeing this moose reminded me of survival mode as well. Whenever you first start off a game of Skyrim, it gives you the option to start survival mode, but and the reason I was thinking about that is because you have to actually eat in survival mode. So I think if I was playing survival mode, I would actually try and kill the moose there and eat him. But let's see if we can hit these shots. We're gonna have to go in third person. Oh, we actually hit him. And he's kind of moving around too much. It's always hard for me to judge the distance of the arrows, but sometimes I'm able to hit the shots. We'll be able to get him. Oh, we actually got him. This is sick. Oh, we actually fell off the side there. Another game I was kind of interested in playing, and the graphics definitely remind me of it, is actually Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think we shot it a little bit too early there. But Kingdom Come Deliverance, you definitely need to, it's such an immersive game because you have to learn all the skills. But it's definitely a game I want to try out and get into, so I'm curious to hear if you guys have ever played Kingdom Come Deliverance and how you like it. All right, let's see if we can hit this shot on the bandit here. Nice. We're hitting our shots. Yeah, I love sneaking around in the Dark Brotherhood armor. I actually need to put our shroud on, really complete the look here. I think the Khajiit is just the perfect character for this build. I think it's, I do wish the race bonus in Skyrim was a little bit more, like had more of an effect, but it's still kind of cool that there's like at least a little bit of a sneak bonus. And this lockpick looks so sick. There's actually like a trap lockpick. That's one of those things that I would never really think of. So sometimes you actually get a really good bow on the top of this tower. I'm curious to see what we can get here. Oh yeah, I forgot. We actually shot this bandit off the edge, so we're gonna have to jump down and grab him. So there's the bandit chief. Let's see if we can headshot him. We actually did. We got a shot off on him. I think they're healing up. Let's just wait for him to come through the door. All right, so here comes the bandit chief, running straight into our fireball. Nice. Not super stealthy, but we got it done. I think I kind of want to keep myself lightweight here, so I'm not going to grab the iron armor, but I will grab the steel tools there. I think I'm not a big fan of heavy armor in Skyrim. I do like, obviously, ebony and daedric armor, looks-wise, but I think early game, since I'm not going to be crafting anything, I'll just stick with my Dark Brotherhood shrouded armor. You can see all the arrows I missed. So I was kind of like trying to snipe people from super far away. I do like that the potions have this little emissive glow to them. It's kind of nice. Makes them stand out. I always like picking up the fur armor because it sells for really good, especially compared to its weight. And let's see what we get up on top of this tower. Usually there's some good good loot here. I think it is level dependent though. So I definitely play too much Skyrim because I like memorized where all the lockpick positions were. Okay, iron plate boots. I think that's actually different. Never seen these before, but they're heavy armor. These are pretty cool looking. I believe there's an archery book here as well. Nice little pickup there. And a thief backpack. That's pretty sick. I'm gonna take this painting as well. That's part of Legacy of the Dragonborn. And it's a beautiful sunset up here. Let's see what kind of, let's see what bow we get. So Hunting Bow of Fatigue. So it does 5 points of stamina damage. Not bad. I don't think I'm going to switch out my stamina bow for it though. All right, let's see if we can make this jump. Here we go. I can't tell you guys how many times I've jumped off that and missed the water. Yeah, let's grab this guy. Grab his armor. And it's sunset, but still have a nice beautiful walk to Iverstead. I think we might actually take the shortcut to Iverstead through the mountain pass. I'm not actually sure what the actual way to Iverstead is supposed to be. I don't know if you're supposed to follow the road or if you are supposed to go up the waterfall. But today we're gonna go up the waterfall. That's how I normally do it. So we can get our first contract done for the Dark Brotherhood. And what makes so after we kill Narfi, I actually want to showcase another feature of Legacy of the Dragonborn. There's also another cave down here as well. The road to Iverstead is just so fun because there's so many little offshoots that you can go to. Skyrim's definitely a game that I like to take my time with. I don't like to rush through it. So I love to walk to all the locations, listen to the soundtrack, listen to the ambience. But yeah, as we make our way to kill Narfi, a little bit later on I'll showcase one of the other additions that Legacy of the Dragonborn adds into the game. Yeah, I can't get over the Magicka. That is just so sweet. So I don't know if the intended way to Iverstead is actually following the road all the way there, or if the game developers sort of knew you would find this shortcut here. But I think today we're gonna go up the shortcut because it'll give us a nice little view of the distant lands here. So another really cool thing about Legacy of the Dragonborn is it gives you a reason to explore things like Hilgrun's tomb here and all the different little side locations, because there's actually collectibles that you can grab that add to the museum. So I'm gonna sneak my way up here. I'm not really sure where the bandit is that's over here, but I really like the sneaky animation. That's so cool. I really like that there's not only first-person animations, but there's third-person animations as well. I've noticed a lot of mod packs actually really focus on the third-person combat, but for me, I've always really enjoyed Skyrim as a first-person game, so I'm glad that Eldergleam kind of includes both options here, depending on your playstyle. Alright, surprisingly, he didn't fall off the ledge here. Grab his studded armor. Beautiful sunset over the canyon here. I think we'll be making our way to Iverstead just in time for nighttime, so we'll be able to kill Narfi and stay at the inn. So I'm definitely curious to hear what your guys' favorite quest lines are from Skyrim, or even the Elder Scrolls in general. I never played Morrowind, so I'm not too familiar with that game, but I have played a little bit of Oblivion. And one of the games I actually want to pick up when it goes on sale again is Oblivion Remastered. It looks like so much fun. I played the original Oblivion and it's really charming. I like the graphics actually, but I'm really curious to see what the remastered looks like. Wow, the view from up here looks amazing. Love that. See all the way to the ocean. I do like that the ENB makes it a little bit darker at nighttime, so it gives us a reason to actually use our torch. And since we are playing as a Khajiit, we do have a night eye if we need to use that. You can actually see the embers kind of like trailing behind us from the torch, which is really cool. So there's actually new locations. These aren't normally named locations, but it just said I discovered the ruined Toll and Wisp Mother's Well. So looks like there's additional location markers here too. So there's like little waypoints you can stop at. I wonder if we'll be able to one-shot the troll that lives under here. I'm really glad we got the soul-stealing bow here. Oh yeah, we're able to really do some good DPS here. There we go. Nice. We're getting here just in time for nighttime. Beautiful look at the nebula up there. And eventually we will have to take the steps up to the High Rothgard up there. Meet the Greybeards. But we're here on Brotherhood business. So let's just take care of Narfi while we're here. Nice rainy night. Perfect night for an assassination here. Maybe we'll go for a dagger kill actually. That'd be kind of fun. There we go. So as you can see, we have the skull of Narfi. So that's another thing introduced by the Legacy of the Dragonborn. And there's actually a secret Dark Brotherhood display at the Dragonborn Museum. So we'll have to showcase that a little bit later. Yeah, Legacy of the Dragonborn really gives you an excuse to go out and do the quest because there's just so many collectible items. So since it's a nice rainy night, we might as well stay at the inn here. Yeah, it always feels nice stopping in at the taverns, especially after a long journey up to Iverstead here. I'm pretty sure the character here, Lindley, like I'm pretty sure there's like dialogues that say she's terrible at singing or something. I forget what the which inn that's at. But basically there's dialogue saying like, oh, she's a terrible singer. They only like her because she's pretty, which I think was kind of funny. So originally I was going to stay at the inn, but I do want to actually go and complete the rest of this little Dark Brotherhood quest line. And as you can see, there's actually custom loading screens here too, which I think is a really fun addition. I definitely preferred those loading screens over the vanilla loading screens with the 3D objects. I think these ones look so much cleaner. So let's quickly clear out our Dark Brotherhood contracts here. Once we get these completed, we'll get our first proper contract from the Brotherhood. Oh, I love the dagger animations too. It's actually so sick, like the way he's kind of holding the knife. Super clean. Oh, all right. Since we're a rogue character, I think it's only fitting we heist these guys. Might as well steal from the nobles here. So the story with these guys is actually they're going to Vittori Vici's wedding. It's kind of funny that they're all the way over here in Windhelm, but they have a lot of loot on them. So we're definitely taking that. Might as well take the Imperial stuff too. It doesn't weigh anything. It's kind of screwed up killing them, but hey, we're in the Dark Brotherhood. I think it kind of fits. I think actually it would make more sense if we were in the Thieves Guild and we did that, but I always do it. So I just noticed this, but there's a little bit of some sort of movement mod here as well with the sprinting. Feels a lot more fluid, like a modern AAA game. All right, let's kill our runaway miller here, living over here by the crabs. Oh, there's vigilance out here. I'm just gonna shoot him, and we're gonna want to take his skull here. We're collecting skulls for the museum. I think off in this direction is the Nightingale Inn, which we'll come back to later. It's been a while since I've started like a proper Skyrim playthrough, so this is really a treat for me to play through this with the mods and graphics installed here. Alright, so our last contract is going to be over in Dawnstar. And I guess technically we don't have to do all the contracts, we only need to turn in one, but I like to do all three of them. Now this Dawnstar one is always a little bit difficult. So here we are in Dawnstar, and this last contract sometimes tends to be a little bit difficult. And I'm going to see if we'll be able to do it without actually getting thrown in jail. I think out of all the cities, I might say Dawnstar is my least favorite. It is cool though, it's a cool little port, but as far as cities I would want to live, Dawnstar's kind of like on the bottom of my list. So there's our target. I think we might want to actually wait until she goes to bed. So we're not too far away to wait for nighttime here. Kind of a cool thing about waiting is our character actually sits down. Beatlid. Let's see if we can take her out. So I'm gonna actually just run away. We did get a bounty in Dawnstar, but we can always go back and serve our time if we really need to. But I don't really plan on going to Dawnstar anytime soon. Oh, Cicero's actually home. So whenever I enter into the Brotherhood Sanctuary, I always like taking the cowl off. I don't know, I kind of like to roleplay in Skyrim, so if I have clothes, I like to actually switch to clothes when I'm in cities. And, you know, I like taking my cowl off when I'm in the Brotherhood Sanctuary and stuff. I used to always get so annoyed with Cicero. I don't know why. But he's a cool character. I like his clothes. Alright, let's go talk to Nazir. I kind of forgot that, it's been a while since I played Skyrim, so I kind of forgot that Cicero comes in after you complete your contracts. So before we head off and do our first official Dark Brotherhood contract, I want to actually head back to the Dragonborn Gallery in Solitude. So since we have a couple of items that we've collected from our quests here, I think it's time we actually display them in the gallery. And I actually want to drop off some of the extra items we have here, like our college clothes that we picked up, and also some of our extra shrouded gear that we got. The rest of this we can actually sell. So we actually found this Ring of Minor Sneaking, as if our character wasn't high stealth enough already. But I actually want to showcase how you can actually display things in the Legacy of the Dragonborn here. Legacy of the Dragonborn makes it really easy to actually display everything. Let's throw our skulls into the chest here. And would you like to display all the items in the drop-off container? Yes. So we must wait for sorting to complete here. Perfect, so as you can see, new display is 16 and we have a total of 22 displays in the museum. It's really cool to actually see how the museum starts to display all the items you've collected. So right now, since we've just started, We don't quite have a lot actually displayed out, but you can see all the different things here that it'll start showing off. And I think there's actually videos online showcasing what the museum looks like fully decorated. We can see things like the Blade of Woe when we get that eventually will be displayed here. Alright, so we're gonna have to actually travel all the way to Markarth to talk to Moriri here. I'm actually really curious to see what Markarth looks like. Markarth is another one of those cities I actually really enjoy. Let's take the carriage over there. So it's nighttime here at Markarth. Let's head on inside here. I'm a really big fan of the stone texturing in Eldergleam, so I think Markarth's gonna look really nice. What's really fun with Markarth is the whole Forsworn kind of conspiracy that they have. Alright, I usually never ask for the extra little storyline details. I feel like as a Dark Brotherhood assassin, you wouldn't really care about the details too much. So whenever I do the dialogue, I always like to just remain silent. Yeah, here's the Daedra questline too. I really like Markarth, just for whatever reason. Has a cool vibe to it. Stonework looks so nice with the high-res textures here. I'm really a big fan of this section too, the centralized little location here with the waterfall running through. All right, kind of waited through the nighttime. I want to see what this looks like during the day. It's a little bit gloomy, but still looks really nice. I really like the Markarth forge here right in the middle. She's not happy. She's not happy with the forging here. But yeah, eventually we'll have to come back and actually do the Forsworn conspiracy because I really love the prison break aspect of it. Alright, so here we are back at Windhelm. We're gonna have to go kill Nilsen's Shatter Shield while we're here. And I don't want to do this during the day, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit until she returns home. Alright, so now it's nighttime. We're gonna have to break into the Shatter Shield house here. So it's an expert lock, but I think we found the spot right here. Nice, we got it. That'll give us a nice little boost to lock picking as well. Alright, we're gonna have to sneak around the house here and see if we can find Nilsen. We don't want to take anyone else out, so thankfully our sneak skill's pretty high. And Skyrim's stealth is very overpowered. There's Nilsen. Take her out while she's asleep. No fusses about it here. She's done with, that's our optional contract done. Alright, now with Nilsen dead, we're gonna want to go kill Elaine. So I think under the cover of nighttime here, this is the perfect time to actually go approach and kill Elaine. Yeah, I think even though Skyrim's quests aren't as deep as some of the older games, I still really enjoy them. Obviously, I think there's a lot of nostalgia at play, but even still, I'm curious to hear if any of you guys have played Skyrim, or if it's your first time playing Skyrim recently, how you felt the quests actually held up. I'm curious to hear like a new player's perspective on it. I think even if I was to play Skyrim for the first time, I would still enjoy it. So something I kind of learned is I noticed my stamina doesn't drain outside of combat when I'm sprinting, but whenever I'm in combat and I sprint, that's when the stamina begins to drain. There's some Vigilance Stendar over here. Wait, no, these are the vampires actually. So let's just get rid of them. It's kind of funny, I wasn't really paying attention. I just realized that they're actually vampires, kind of role-playing as Vigilance. Actually, we might as well steer the vampire dust while we're here. It's kind of funny, they almost got me. I didn't really notice until I saw the dead bodies next to them. I think my favorite part about the Dark Brotherhood questline in Skyrim is definitely the later missions. The set pieces are really fun, especially towards the end when you have to get onto the Emperor's boat. That part to me is really fun. Alright, looks like we got ourselves into a little bit of combat here, but that's not an issue. There we go. We get rid of these bandits here. We're making our way up to the camp that they have here. There we go. Got rid of the ice wolves here. And we'll take their pelts, because these are actually some displays that we can use. Something I never actually, this is so random. You can definitely tell I'm filming this at 1 in the morning, but something I never realized is how big wolves are in real life. Like, they're actually huge. So I think that'd be terrifying if you actually, like, encountered wolves if you're out in the woods. I don't know. I don't know why I had to say that. My yapping is really starting to come out. The less I sleep, the more I yap. Right. Make our way up here without too much of a fuss, hopefully. I think I want to play this section in third person just so we can kind of showcase some of the animations here. I do like that the enemies themselves actually have some attack animations too. So it's not just the player. Let's just get our firebolt here. Quickly dispatch of the bandits outside. I don't normally use magicka, but with these visuals, it's actually really fun. So we got another level up here. Oh, wow, the flames actually look so sweet. All right, let's quietly take out the bandits kind of hanging out around here. Some Skyrim jank right there with the his sword going flying, just to prove that it is still Skyrim. Let's just jump over that. I believe this is a like a higher level lock, but or no, it's only adept. That's actually pretty easy. Oh, even the locks are animated too. That's really cool. All right, there's our target there. Just take aim, take him out. Oh yeah, that's classic Skyrim stealth right there. Honestly, I actually enjoy the jankiness of Skyrim. For me, it's just kind of charming. I'm not really a big fan of, this might be kind of like, I don't know if it's controversial to say, but I'm not really a big fan of like the difficulty mods for Skyrim, like the ones that make it significantly harder or make it more Souls-like. For me, I just kind of like Skyrim as it is, just janky, kind of easy. That's how I enjoy the game anyways. But if you guys like playing like mods that make the game more difficult or make the combat more kind of dynamic, I'm curious to hear your guys' experience with those mods. Or if you have any recommendations for like mods that change the combat, I'm always curious to hear what you guys kind of play with. But it's actually a nice, beautiful, stormy night here in Markarth. I love the nice, warm, like hearth glow here with the rain. It's moments like this that really make me enjoy Skyrim. All right, let's head into the inn here. All right, looks like Moriarty's in her room, which is perfect. Let's go talk to her, close the doors. Perfect. So we got her ring and 400 gold, which I feel like is kind of light for the amount of work we did, but it is what it is. All right, let's head back to Astrid and let her know the good news here. So what's also kind of cool is that Moriarty's ring, as well as Agus Bane, these are all kind of unique items that we can display in the museum. Kind of want to take a walk around Markarth while it's raining like this. I never really play Skyrim in a rush, so it's kind of nice to enjoy the peaceful little moments like this. Walking in the rain. This is actually so sublime. The aurora and the rain together. This is actually so cool. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's my day off. I feel like a kid being able to just stay up late and play Skyrim all night. So much fun. And of course we have so many quests around Markarth, being able to clear out all the Forsworn. Lots and stuff to do. So I believe this might actually be, I believe the weather is natural atmospheric Tamriel. Not too sure though. I'm not quite sure all the specifics that Eldergleam adds in as far as the specific mods. Here's some Thalmor. The only thing I don't like about the siding with the Imperials is that they side with the Thalmor. I don't know why. They're just kind of annoying to me. So it's like, I feel like no matter what side you pick in the Civil War, it's kind of like both sides are kind of annoying. Alright, so I actually want to take on this Forsworn camp out here. They have something that they have some items that we can collect for the museum. I think attacking them here during the rainstorm is going to be perfect. Kind of approach in the cover of the rain. They're actually kind of fighting right now, which is perfect. Well, I love seeing the flame effect from a distance. Let's take out the shaman here. Nice and easy. So I actually like the Forsworn armor is actually pretty good. We're gonna take their stuff because we can display it in the museum as well, and it sells for a good amount too, considering how much it weighs. So this is the item we were wanting, the Jade Warrior. The camp during the rainstorm is just beautiful. This is really nice. I really love the flame effects. All right, I was hoping they would drop a bow, but we might have to go somewhere else to grab that. It's actually a nice misty, like light little rain right now, so we make our way back to the sanctuary. But before we do that, I actually want to clear out this little ruin that we have off to the side of the road. We're gonna have to kind of sneak in here. Let's get rid of this sapling. Actually, we'll just use the firebolt. I think that'd be the easiest. All right, there we go. Not too bad. Perfect. That's why I really like using magicka. Lets you heal at any given time. All right. Not really a whole lot in the chest, but better than nothing. We found a catalog here too. Yeah, I really like natural atmospheric Tamriel's weather. It kind of blows my mind the lengths that modders go to This really does just feel like a modern retelling of Skyrim to me. And I can't think of a better way to spend my day off than playing this game. So let's make our way back to the sanctuary and tell Astrid we completed our first contract here. Alright, here we are back at home. Feels good to be home. Our nice little dingy cave. Alright, so with that done, I feel like this is a perfect time to actually stop the episode. I feel like this was a good little preview at what it's like to play Skyrim with enhanced graphics. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this longer video. I definitely had a lot of fun playing. I love playing Skyrim, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it.